Heretics by G.K. Chesterton, Hendrickson Christian Classics. Preface. Hendrickson Christian Classics edition, G.K. Chesterton, 1874 to 1936. Never has there been so little discussion about the nature of men as now, when, for the first time, anyone can discuss it. The old restriction meant that only the orthodox were allowed to discuss religion. Modern liberty means that nobody is allowed to discuss it. Good taste, the last and vilest of human superstitions, has succeeded in silencing us where all the rest have failed. G.K. Chesterton, Heretics. He stood 6 feet 3 inches tall, and weighed in at around 300 pounds. He had a signature look that featured a distinctive mustache, a pair of glasses perched on his nose, all topped off with a cape, a jaunty hat, a walking stick, and, as likely as not, a long cigar. His name was Gilbert Keith Chesterton, and he was one of the 20th century's most remarkable Christian voices. He's a man whose name everyone seems to know, but nobody really knows why, and most likely they know of him because of something he wrote. Whatever else may be said about G.K. Chesterton, he was first and foremost a writer. According to one estimate, he wrote 100 books and contributed to hundreds more. He penned 5 novels, 5 plays, and hundreds of poems, plus 200 short stories, including the popular tales of the priest who would be detective Father Brown. He enjoyed considerable success from his books, but at heart he was a journalist. His output included 13 years of weekly columns for the Daily News, plus 30 years of weekly columns for the Illustrated London News. On top of this, he edited his own newspaper, G.K.'s Weekly. If you're counting, that's more than 4,000 newspaper essays. Whatever he wrote about, whether politics, philosophy, history, or theology, his style was distinctive, always full of wit, humility, paradox, and wonder. Chesterton had full command of the medium, the utter respect of his audience, and, most important, he controlled the conversation. His prominence and influence could perhaps be compared to that of a daily news anchor today. Yet Chesterton wrote all his own material. Most memorable, perhaps, is his humor. Chesterton found fun in life, and it shows in his writing. He loved telling stories on himself, and others enjoyed telling stories on him. One famous story has him wiring his wife, saying, "Am at Market Harborough. Where ought I to be?" "Home," she wired back. All who knew him, whether they agreed with his beliefs or not, found him fun-loving, engaging, fearless, confident without being judgmental, and most of all a friend. Chesterton was born in 1874 in the Kensington section of London, into a family who had for several generations operated a successful real estate business. Though his family saw that he was baptized into the Church of England, their beliefs tended more toward Unitarian rather than traditional Christianity. Like other middle-class families of the time, their values were distinctly post-Christian. Anything perceived as traditional or classical was set aside in favor of progress, that is, whatever was new and modern. Traditional beliefs and institutions, religious, social, artistic, scientific, philosophical, were rejected in favor of personal experience, perceptions, thought, and belief. Good was no longer measured through external absolutes, but rather in what was new and modern and progressive. Whatever was new was also deemed good and beautiful. Chesterton's childhood, though largely non-religious, was nonetheless a childhood that he remembered as filled with fun, a quality he enjoyed his entire life. He was educated at St. Paul's, but rather than attend university, he enrolled in the Slade School of Art in 1892. It was here that he had his crisis of faith, or, more accurately, his crisis of non-faith, which he later called my period of madness. Oddly enough,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?